What is up, everybody? Your boy SEC Football Tube back with another video for you guys today. And we got a really fun show today. Number one, it's August 1st. It's football month. It is finally football month. And I got to tell you, I can't wait. I really can't wait. Because when August 23rd comes, which is week zero, everything's going to feel right in our life again because college football's back. Something we've craved for every day since January. We've wanted it for so long, and now only gotta wait a couple more weeks, guys. Only gotta wait a couple more weeks. It's August. It is August. But hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good Friday night. And we got a fun show today. We have a very special guest. Now, this guy, he's a good friend of mine. Best friend in the whole world, some would say. You guys know him very well. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Whoa! Who saw this coming? It's Vendravius.
I
No
am
way.
Vendrevious.
No way. Bro,
I
no
am
way.
the. I know my name says Gavin. I know he's your friend, but hey, listen, I am Vendrevious. I am your real best friend.
That's right. That's right, baby. It's Vendravius, everybody.
Hey,
It
thank you
is
for having me on.
Vendravius.
Thank you
Of
for
course,
having me
man.
on. I am blessed to talk best case, worst case scenarios today with you. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, of course, man. And, we're going to talk about some more things, too. But before we do get into the best case, worst case scenario, a little bit of good news regarding the Rasul Fajan situation. The NCAA granted
Yep,
his waiver to practice, but we're still waiting on the big one for him to be able to play. But that is a step in the right direction. However, it's still frustrating because I really wish he would just come out and
may
say it.
may
But
I may I have my word on this?
go ahead, brother. It's all yours.
Okay, listen, Rashul Fajan. So they've cleared him to practice, all right. They've cleared him to practice, but why clear him to practice when you could clear him to play? Listen, let's say Rachel Fajan is Jadavion Clowney, someone who absolutely has no way of playing college football again, no chance at eligibility again. Let's just say, theoretically speaking, Fajan cannot play college football. But like the NCAA could rule Fajan in a way he can't play, but you're gonna allow him to practice? Like
Yeah,
imagine they say no, but he's cleared to practice. So since why clear him to practice when you could just clear him to play as of right now? Look, I think it's one step closer to good news, but just clear him to play. I don't get it.
right. At this point, if they didn't clear him to play the whole season after clearing him to practice, that would be the dumbest thing ever, honestly. But it's the NCAA, so I mean, you can't ever you can't ever count out their stupidity, honestly. But
Yeah,
this whole
gosh.
thing, the fact that we're August, we're in August now. It was sent in January. The fact that this lasted this long is ridiculous and incompetent enough. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But again, this is a good step in the right direction, and hopefully we get the news soon that he'll be cleared to play because let's be honest, we're gonna need him. He's a big time weapon, and Carolina is definitely gonna need Rasul Fajan this season, and hopefully so will be free before the season. And if so is not free, then we're burning the entire NCAA headquarters. That's what's gonna happen.
Yep. We all riot. We all riot. By the
Absolutely.
by the way, you know who the Gamecocks need more than Fajon?
Who?
Me.
Exactly,
Vandrevious.
Ventravius. That is
Yep.
true. That is true because Ventravius is our savior, bro. I mean, honestly,
Unstoppable force. I am.
unstoppable. I mean, straight up God mode, bro.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
Unstoppable would be an understatement, man. You could call me any other way. You cannot stop me.
it's right. This is right though. That's a good point. It would be absolutely barbaric for the NCAA to say no now after driving this for so
Yeah.
long, ruining multiple opportunities. I mean, if all of this happens, it's the dirtiest move you can imagine by the NCAA.
I know, dude. I don't understand what has taken him so long. Look, if they say no, Fajon's going to be taking legal action. I remember a
Oh
similar
yeah, he should.
situation. I remember a similar situation when we played UNC in 2023. They had this receiver, I forgot his name, but they weren't clearing him, and then he missed a few games, and then they finally cleared him. So I hope it doesn't get to that point where Fajon's going to miss some games. I hope
Yeah.
he's just able to play. But if you're going to clear him to practice, just clear him to play. All right.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're right on that, Carson. You're right. You're right on that.
Yep. Can't be more right.
But anyways, best case, worst case scenario. Now, before we do this, obviously, yes, we know best case, worst case. Okay, easy, 12-0 and 0-12. Well, no kidding. But what it means, this is the realistic best case and worst case scenario. Meaning, what is realistically the ceiling and the floor of this football team this year? And I'll be honest, I feel like South. We said this. I feel like this team has a chance to do something really special this year. They have that chance. Will they take advantage? That's the big question. Excuse me. But you want to go first with yours, Vendravius?
You want me to give me my best case, worst case scenario for the Gamecocks this season?
Do it.
All right, here's what I got. All right, the Gamecocks, best case scenario, I would say I'm between, I don't think the best case is undefeated because of what we lost defensively,
Yeah, I
but
think that's a stretch.
I'm somewhere with 11-1 and 10-2. I
Oh,
want to say 11-1, but I think our best case has got to be 10-2 because let's be real. Let's look at our schedule. Let's look at our schedule. We got Clemson to close the season. We got Alabama. We go at Ole Miss, at Texas A&M. Go at Missouri. We got at LSU. Look, we're in the SEC. It's a very tough conference. To be realistic, this is a very tough schedule. But if you look at the team, other than just a schedule of all these other teams on paper, the South Carolina Gamecocks could have a big year in 2025. So I
yeah.
think they do have what it takes to go 10-2 and have a very big year. However, as for worst case scenario, if just something goes incredibly wrong, I mean, look, I don't really touch on this that often, but the worst case, probably 7-5.
Oh,
I won't say the games, but I'm not saying 7-5 is what's going to happen. But if the Gamecocks flop, I think they do at least make a bowl game, but they'd probably lose about 5 games. And I think these would probably come from mainly road games, because let's be real, the Gamecocks had a great year last year on the road, but it's hard to just keep winning on the road. But we'll see
and
what they can do next year.
the opponents are also different as well. Because last year we had Kentucky. They went 4-8. We had Oklahoma. They barely made a bowl game. Vandy, they're Vandy. They had a good year, but they're still Vandy. And out of conference, but just anytime you win the rivalry game against Clemson, I mean, you won that one too on the road, which Clemson's never really a easy place to play. It is for Shane Beamer apparently, but you know what I mean. So this team did good on the road last year, but this year you got to go to Missouri, to LSU. You got to go to Ole Miss and to Texas A&M. Not easy by any means. I mean,
No way.
again, massive boost in opponents, massive boost. So, uh, it's the road stretch is a lot more difficult this year. But hey, if South Carolina, the truth is, if you ask me, LSU, I think that's going to be very tough. I have very high expectations of LSU this year. Ole Miss and A&M are teams I think are gettable, and I'll tell you why. I'm actually thinking A&M is going to be 8-4 yet again this year. Why? Well, because they got some very tough teams too, and that's just who they are. They're 8-4 U. Ole Miss lost a lot. I do feel like, and plus, South Carolina has beaten them before in the Grove, so it is possible. And I feel like those games are winnable, but they will be tough. LSU is the one I'm looking at saying, I don't know. But I do think Missouri, A&M, and Ole Miss are winnable, but they're going to be tough.
I agree. Yeah, those are going to be some tough opponents. So I think LSU's got to be well, maybe not by far, but they're got to be. the toughest road game on our schedule. But
Oh,
here's the
without a
thing.
doubt.
Here's
Without
the
a
thing.
doubt. The
South
real Death
Carolina.
Valley is always tough, let's be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't want to bring back memories, but we know what happened the last time we went there.
To be fair, we were a 2-win team, but yeah, I mean,
Yes. You are right. You are right.
dude,
You are
even
right.
in the Clowney years, we went there in 2012 after starting 6-0 and beating Georgia, and we just completely forgot to show up in that game. Like
I
we,
hate
we we showed up in our white helmets and gray uniforms with the best player in all college football, and we couldn't win. We couldn't win.
it's so sad that had to happen. So I'm hoping this year can be different, but let's look at the road games. So
Yeah,
LSU's got to be the hardest one. Here's something that catches my eye. Early in the season, if the Gamecocks want to make the college football playoff, they need to start. I mean, look, if they go 4-1 to start the season, it's not over,
it'd
but
be
so
increasingly more difficult though.
it would, yeah, for sure, with what's ahead of you. You need
Hmm.
to start the season 5-0.
Right.
Virginia Tech, you need to win that. South Carolina State, Vanderbilt, Missouri is the game I'm talking about
Well,
right here. That's going to be an early test for the Gamecocks.
I hate to say it, but there's no chance we beat SC State. But I'm really hoping SC State. I
Oh,
mean, dude, no one beats SC State, bro. I'm
dude,
sorry.
listen,
That's
listen, listen. South Carolina State, there's no way we beat them. But
right. So we're gonna. So
I
that's
think we get Vanderbilt, and I think that might be our only win this year. Vanderbilt,
yeah, honestly, but
probably.
but yeah, no one beats South Carolina State. So 4-1 is really the best way you can start because SC State is just unbelievably good. They've truly run this state. I mean, it's called SC State for a reason. So, but
I know.
anyways, anyways,
Everyone
yeah. I
knows
mean,
that.
it's hard to really
Everyone.
think that this team goes to the playoffs if you don't start 5-0 here. And again, your 5 game stretch is very winnable. That Missouri game is tough on the road, but that's a very winnable game. I mean, I feel like those two teams, South Carolina has a slight talent advantage over Missouri this year. However, that game is on the road. And again, I mean, we finally beat them last year. And it's going to be even tougher to beat them on the road, but that is a winnable game. You feel like you got to start 5-0 to really make the playoffs and to reach that quote unquote best case scenario thing. Because while I'm not saying it'll technically be over, excuse me, over, if you don't start 5-0, I just don't see. I just don't personally see how this team makes the playoffs. Maybe that's just me. That's just me. Maybe you have a different opinion, Gavin. But for me, you got to start 5-0.
Yeah, no, no, I do agree. I do agree. If we start 5-0, you got a really great shot, especially with what's ahead of you. You're going to need those wins. But if you do go
Right.
4-1, you're not out of the talk, but you can probably only allow one more loss.
Yeah, and
So,
that's difficult. That's the difficult part. Not to cut you off, but
yeah.
LSU, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, A&M, and Clemson. Like you're probably gonna slip up a time or two there. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, yeah, that's like what you said there was just what I was about to mention. Like you go 4-1, beat all teams but Missouri. You go at LSU, home against Oklahoma, which I think is going to be a lot better team this year.
Yeah,
Alabama, never easy. At Ole Miss, at Texas A&M. Coastal is going to be extremely tough, and then we got Clemson at home, which
yeah,
is
no,
always a test for the Gamecocks. So you can only allow one loss out of those if you start the season 4-1. That's why this Gamecock team needs to start 5-0 if they want to make it to the playoffs.
right. And I was gonna say, I said this in my preview video too about Coastal. We all loved Coastal when they were in Omaha. To be honest with you, with Coastal Carolina, and I never sleep on them. If this game was 5 years ago, I'd be very worried. That's my point because Coastal is not what they were 5 years ago. I'm sorry to say, and the Gamecocks aren't either what they used to be 5 years ago, and thank
Nope.
God for that. So I'll be honest, when I saw this on the original schedule before all hell broke loose and COVID happened, I thought I was looking at that game and saying, "There's a really good chance we lose that Coastal game." I just don't feel that way looking at Coastal this year. I feel like, maybe Coastal can put up a fight for a half, but after that, I think Carolina should be able to handle them. Let's see what Carson said here. Beamer might own Death Valley, but we own Columbia. That is unfortunately a very real reality.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
Carolina's only won like what 5 or 6 times since 1980 at home
Man.
against Clemson. That's crazy. So
Oh,
yeah, there's no
yeah.
argument about that. But
Yeah, I think that Coastal game might maybe pretty similar to how the Wofford game went for the Gamecocks last season. I think, it'll be interesting at first. By the way, you mentioned on your stream the other day, we allowed 3 sacks to Wofford, didn't we?
mm-hmm. Three.
Like,
The
yeah,
funny thing, and that's gonna go into when I give my best case scenario in a few minutes. We we allowed like what 41 sacks total this last season, and I don't think we did it 2 years in a row. And that's another thing. If you want to have a chance, the offensive line has got to be better. No questions asked. Asking you really would like to think that there's no way they get worse. I mean, you have to think they'll be better. It has to be better. I mean, it has to be. But at the same time, some of those combos we like to bring up last year were one of the worst in the SEC. So we've got to for South Carolina to do anything really special this year, offensive line's got to hit. They've got to hit.
yes, yes. They do. But look, even if the offensive line slips up, we need to remember we have Lenore Sellers. Not a single Clemson player could
That's right.
tackle Sellers last year.
That's right.
Sellers single-handedly beat Clemson on the last drive of the game.
I think he's still pulling. I think some of Clemson's defensive players are still pulling the grass from Lenore's Sellers cleats out of their mouths to this day. Honestly.
To this day, I think another Clemson player just fell to the ground trying to grab Lenore Sellers' foot.
Yep. Still eating the turf.
Yeah,
But
can't say it better. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens this year. Look, Clemson's going to be different. They have a great
yeah.
defensive coordinator, and Tom Allen, I believe his name. He's the guy from Penn State. He's not going to allow Lenore Sellers to run around. They're going to need a spy on Lenore Sellers. And look, I think you can't beat Clemson doing the exact same thing you did last year. Yes, the game's at home, but they're still Clemson. Yes, you have the home advantage, but if South Carolina wants to be Clemson this year, they need to do more passing the ball.
Right. Right. And I will tell you, I really do think it's about time South Carolina gets one against Clemson at home. However, that'll depend on how both teams look coming into that game. And we're a long way from really talking about that. But I will say, going back to Coastal again, I mean, you think about how the Wofford game started last year. Wofford easily could have been up 10-0. Easily could have been up 10-0 to start the game. Easily. Thankfully they weren't,
Yep.
but they easily could have. You remember how that game started.
Yes, I was there with you. I was there with
Mm-hmm.
you, and I was
Yep.
watching. I'm like, okay, thank God this isn't Texas A&M. Thank God this isn't Alabama. Thank God this isn't this. Thank God this is Wofford, man. If this wasn't Wofford, I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure other team we would have played would have been up to a better start. And they may as well would have won the game if we
Yeah.
started a game like that. But thankfully, the next week we beat Clemson.
Yeah, and that's also another thing. Like for my keys when I went to those stupid mistakes. Because you're right. You play any good opponent starting that game like that. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. All right. Well, I might as well go ahead and give my best case, worst case scenario. And I want to say when I say best case, what I mean is the ceiling. It's not a prediction. I'm not saying, oh well, this is what we're going, bro. Like hell yeah, like buckle up. That's not what I'm saying. When I say this is the best case, I mean this is what I think is the ceiling of this football team. What I think is the best they're probably going to do this year. And when I say worst case, I mean I think this is the worst personally that they could do. Best case scenario, I got 10-2. Say South Carolina starts, maybe South Carolina starts 5-0. They handle business. Maybe they get one between Ole Miss and Texas A&M. Maybe they beat Clemson. Maybe they beat Clemson at home for the first time in a million years. And South Carolina looks pretty good. Sellers has a very good season. Almost doesn't necessarily have to be Heisman worthy, but will definitely needs to have he definitely needs to have a really big season. I'll tell you that. But let's say the offensive line is a lot better. South Carolina replaces these defensive studs with more defensive studs. We continue to create turnovers. Offensive line is wildly improved. If that stuff happens, I think South Carolina gets to the college football playoff, and I think 10-2 is my best case scenario.
I agree.
My
Yeah.
worst. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, 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 nothing. I was just gonna say I agree. 10-2. Everything you said is about right. The Gamecocks should start. They need to start 5-0 if they want to make it to the college football playoff and start ten and
Yes.
two. That's for sure. But I want to hear your worst case. I really want to hear your worst case.
Yep. And here it comes. Worst case for me, I think is 6-6. And the reason I say that is I don't see this team not making a bowl game. I really don't. But to be fair, I didn't see the 23 team not making a bowl game either. But I feel like this is different. And as good as Rattler was, Sellers, I think, is a better quarterback and gives you a lot more skill and everything. But unfortunately, 6-6 is my worst case scenario. A bowl game, good, but a massive disappointment. No Gamecock fan would want to be there. Let's say South Carolina comes out against Virginia Tech, looks bad, darn near like the Illinois game, and you lose that home opener. That's going to be bad. Let's say you lose to Missouri on the road. Let's say LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M. Everything is just a little too much to handle. Let's say all of that. South Carolina once again, offensive line can't block. We can't run the football. Defense getting gashed. I mean, if those things go wrong, I really could see, unfortunately, this team teetering around the 6-6 line. But the good news is, I don't think that's going to happen. But if things go wrong, especially if the injury bug hits South Carolina hard, I could see this team, unfortunately, taking a massive step back. And I do think 6-6 is the worst case scenario for this team. I don't see them falling below a bowl game, but I can definitely see them going 6-6. But yeah, so that's it. 10-2 for my best. Again, what if South Carolina starts 5-0? Oklahoma is still kind of struggling. Ole Miss and Texas A&M are on your level, and you might be better than them. And you beat Clemson at home for the first time in a long time. And worst case scenario, 6-6. You start rusty in Atlanta, and it costs you. And you're not very good on the road yet again. You lose to Clemson on the road again. Offensive line has issues. I mean, I'm pretty much repeating what I said, but that's my best case, worst case scenario. Let me know in the comments what y'all think are the best case, worst case scenario. And
Yeah, we can wait to check their responses, but I do have something to say. So, what we saw last year, we were both there to see it. To open the season, we looked like a Vanderbilt type of team that plays in the
hmm
SEC,
yeah,
that plays Old Dominion. We should have lost that game. Look, the Gamecocks looked terrible that game. The defense looked about as good as how you saw them the rest of the year. The defense was really good, and that's what won them the game with the turnovers, the fumbles, Dylan Stewart, Kyle Kennard. We had these big pieces, and they won us the game. And going back to what you said earlier about Spencer Rattler, well, you said Lenore Sellers being the better quarterback. I feel like Rattler probably the better passer, but he wasn't much of a runner like Sellers. That was a lot different. But as of I think Sellers has like more potential. Like I feel like he could get on the same level as Rattler did, but hopefully this time we don't waste a Rattler and we can protect the quarterback, give Sellers time to throw. And here's the thing:
yeah,
I hope we take more deep shots this year. I believe you mentioned this too. We need to take some deep shots down the field, and
we
so we can
do.
get
And
so we can
the
get the
thing
ball to
is,
me. We need to get the ball to me, Vandrevius Jacobs. So I can maybe
exactly
catch more balls.
right, right. But the thing is, ooh, the rain's coming down, bro. I can hear it. I can hear it from my wall, bro.
I
Holy
can hear it
moly!
too. I can hear it too.
But uh, I mean, Sellers really wasn't that bad as a passer. We saw him connect very well. I think the narrative of him not being a good passer is completely ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, look, we saw some beauties, deep shots, incredible. Let's not forget the first play of his career at South Carolina, 2023. What was it against Furman? A 50-yard bomb. I mean, that
I
was just a
know.
that was just a redshirt freshman. That was his first year, and he froze that beautiful bomb. So Sellers showed flashes of greatness before he even started. But I
Yeah,
will Bro, do you hear that? My
Kind,
God.
I think I can really hear that, yeah. But I do have to say, I don't mean, I think he's a great passer. I just think Rattler was a little more better on passing because we
Oh
saw
yeah, yeah.
this combination to Leggett, and that was really good.
Oh yeah.
I think Sellers has what it takes to become a better. Okay, hold on, listen. I got a good point here. Look, like think about Spencer Rattler in 2022, his first year here. He did not make great throws. He threw some dumb picks. He wasn't the best of passers. Then the next year he improved. I feel like we could see that with the Norris Sellers because last year we're saying the same thing. We didn't think he was the greatest with passing, but we did see some flashes of great throws, like his throw to Jared Brown to end the half against LSU. We saw some bombs in the Wofford game. Like he can throw the ball, he can sling it. Even his first throw against Furman, he can throw the ball. We've seen it, but he still made some bad decisions, and I hopefully he can fix that up for this year because Rattler did a lot better the next year. And I think Sellers has what it takes to do that next year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I will say again, when it comes to Rattler and everything, he definitely had a that was his skill, throwing the football, right? That's what he was good at. That's what he specialized in very well. The problem was with Rattler, and yeah, the offensive line was horrific in 2023 as well. Allowed
God,
what, eight?
just imagine if we had an O line. First of all, we would have made a bowl game. Second of all, we probably would have been able to do a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I won't blame any South Carolina fan who is nervous coming into this year and worried, oh, we got all these expectations and everything. I'm worried we're going to crash because I don't think expectations were too high after 2022. I think some Carolina fans kind of expected a little bit of a drop off, but I mean, South Carolina's got playoff hype this year, man. So the expectations are more, but I thought South Carolina was going to have a chance to redo what they did in 2022, and the way they started against North Carolina derailed that entire season. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily very fair to compare Virginia Tech, this year's Virginia Tech, to 2023's North Carolina, because I think Virginia Tech's a little bit worse. I don't think they're going to be very good this year, but I mean, you never know. And the fact is, South Carolina, the way they've started week one, I mean, they've got to start strong this year again, because if you don't, then you're looking at a very very bad start to the.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. Is that a severe thunderstorm warning you just got there?
Uh, it's a flash flood warning, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on my iPad. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're all
Yeah,
good.
I have a weather app that let that makes that noise whenever there's an alert. It's not the phone SMS. Don't worry, it's not that serious. But
Yeah.
because a little weather fun fact for you guys: if you ever get a flash flood warning through the emergency wireless system on your phone, that's a life-threatening situation. That's the serious flash flood warnings. That's the ones that like you better take seriously immediately. Thankfully, that it was the phone EAS sound, but it wasn't the phone alert. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, those would be real threats. But again, that wasn't on your phone, correct?
no, it wasn't. It was on a.
Yeah, good.
It
That's
was on an
good.
app on my iPad.
Yeah, it's hard to think of today as a stormy, rainy day because over here I live around like I live in the Monk's Corner area and it's very clear around here and it hasn't really been raining at all. But over here we are gonna get some storms over the night, so maybe I'll hear some of that. Maybe
Yeah,
what you're getting over there is what we'll be getting overnight. So
yeah, because it's downpouring like crazy over here right now.
yeah, as long as your power doesn't go out, it should be good. But yeah,
Yeah, hopefully not. I don't
hopefully not.
know. Recently, with the thunderstorms we've been having, we've actually been having power flashes and
Hmm.
powers going out. Though not for very long, but
Wow.
it's still, that stuff. But that pretty much wraps it up for best case, worst case scenario. Let's dive into another. This is a fun thing I wanted to talk. Our most hated SEC fan bases. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, the most hated SEC fan bases. Oh boy.
Yep.
I bet
Yep.
look. I bet we are up there on other fan like for example,
Oh yeah.
Tennessee, Vanderbilt, probably Vanderbilt. I mean, look, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I've seen some people say Vanderbilt fans are pretty bad. I have never seen I've seen probably like one Vanderbilt fan
There.
on social media like speak.
So, okay, this happened when I was very young. This was just one person. I think I've told y'all the story about this on my channel. Uh, there was when I was young, there was a little Vanderbilt fan that I ran into and was said some racist things about Marcus Lattimore. I think I've told
Whoa.
y'all that story on my hype and hates and stuff.
I don't think I remember hearing about that. That's something that's new to me.
Yeah, now again, this is just one asshole, so it's not all Vandy fans, of course not. But yeah, there was a Vanderbilt fan that was because I went to the game, to the South Carolina game and Vandy game, and there was a Vandy fan that was calling Lattimore the N word and saying some very, very, very racist things.
Well, I mean, listen,
That
what
that pissed me off, bro.
that is awful, but let's be real. What other things do Vanderbilt fans have to trash talk about? So that I mean, look,
Yeah.
I'm not backing him up. I'm not saying you should be doing that, but they can't speak anything good about themselves or their team, so they have to do the
Yeah, so they got to
worst thing
result to these little
possible, and
insults.
they got to
Yeah.
take it too far. Exactly. I've
I
never
could have.
seen anything like that. I mean, that's very unfortunate. Thankfully, you don't see more of that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no one else remembers that either. I'm kind of surprised because I do remember. I mentioned that. Now, to be fair, these videos are long gone and no longer up or available anywhere. But my
yeah,
2021 hype and hate video, I mentioned it. I told the story and everything because I went in pretty hard on Vanderbilt. Not gonna lie,
yeah. No, I do
I
remember
made the
watching those
candy
hype and
Vandy bar and everything.
oh my god, yeah. I think that was the
Dude,
year you invented it. Yeah, I
Gavin.
remember. Hey, you had a stream and you ate the candy Vandy bar. It
Yeah,
was awesome.
I thought for a second I thought that thing was about to go to waste for a good
Oh,
majority of that game. I thought that thing was. I thought I was gonna put a bunch of salt on it and eat it because that was my plan. If we had lost, I was gonna put a bunch of salt on it and eat it, or
ugh.
just freaking throw it away. Thankfully, I'm gonna tell you this, Gavin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try to maybe go to the Vanderbilt game this year, and I'm gonna
Oh, back
custom
to
make
back
some.
games.
Yeah, bro. I would like to. We'll see what happens because the tickets are a little expensive. I don't have that
I
kind of
know.
money, honestly, but I only have to get one ticket for this one. But I will say, I would make both of us a candy Vandy bar.
Oh, that would be awesome. After the game, we just go, "Cheers, bro." Then we give each other
Whoop,
cheers, and then we
whoop.
just eat it. Nom nom.
Yeah.
That would be awesome after the game. Like just
I was
like
gonna do it before the
let
game because
listen.
they
Let's
won't let
picture
you
it.
take that into the stadium, so we'd have to do it before the
After the game, yeah, you
yeah
can like yeah, exactly. But let's picture
before, but
this.
yeah.
Let's picture this real quick. Let's say the Gamecocks are 2-0 going into that game. They beat Vanderbilt. We're up 3-0. Just imagine, just cheers, and we eat a candy cane bar. 3-0. That would feel so good, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens. I'll have to see, but I could go to the Vanderbilt game this year. I found out. Well, Andrew, if you do, I'll have to make one for you
Oh,
too.
Andrew, go ahead and
What?
bring up
What
that comment here. Go ahead and flash that comment up here so I can see it better.
yeah, I
I want to
got you.
read that. Yeah. Wow. I could go to the Vanderbilt game this year. I found out I'll be going to a few more games than I expected this year. That's awesome. Yeah, because I remember you telling. Oh, yeah. That's really good. Like I remember you telling us you usually go to the games that are like relatively easier for the Gamecocks. South Carolina State, Coastal Carolina, but that's good that you can go to more games because we've been more than welcome to see you there because we've done it before. And
Right.
hopefully you can see you at more games. I know, so we could say like South Carolina State, Coastal. Maybe you could see you at Vanderbilt too. But yeah, back to you though as SEC. Would love to have you there too. And as some of y'all know, I go to every single Gamecock home game. I'm
Oh
even
yeah,
going to
this
I'm going to the Virginia Tech game this year. I've gone to every single Gamecock home and bowl game since the Kentucky Darude game in 2023.
that's a committed Gamecock fan right there, guys.
Yep, I'm now in the stage where I'm going to all these Gamecock games, and I even at the Gamecock games, they'll show during a commercial break loyal Gamecock fans that have never missed a game. I've seen it before. I can't remember which game I was at, but they showed a Gamecock fan that was like really old and hadn't missed a single game.
Kirk
Yeah,
Hollingsworth.
that
Yeah,
might be
Kirk
his name.
Hollingsworth. Yep, that's
Yeah,
him. Dude, he's made every single Gamecock game, every single one.
yeah,
That
that's
dude
yeah.
is the biggest Gamecock fan of all time.
Yeah, I'm the next one there. I'm trying to go to every single Holman Bowl game. Hey, I think at some
Yeah.
point I'll have to miss one. You never know. Like, look, I really, really, really hope this doesn't happen. But for some strange reason, I have a very, very bad feeling that one of our home games are gonna get like postponed or canceled due to a hurricane this year. I don't know what it
Well, I
is.
mean that is possible. Sadly, if I can't. Excuse me. I can't remember if we had a home game or we were on the road when Helene hit. I can't remember exactly. I thought that was the week after the Akron game, but I could have been wrong.
There, there
I'm
are
not
there are
sure.
two games that stand out to me that were
I think we
affected
were
by
on a bye week
hurricane.
actually.
Yeah, there were. It was the Georgia game that got moved to the day after on a Sunday in 2016. There was that,
Yeah,
and there was the Marshall game in 2018, where you mentioned we probably could have lost that game. That was up. That was a trap game. So thankfully, we got Akron at the end of the year because I think they'd be an easier opponent than Marshall, in my opinion. But
yeah.
yeah,
But I think we were on a bye week when Hurricane Helene hit.
I
But
think
yeah,
so.
I mean, it's South Carolina, man. That's the kind of risk, unfortunately,
Hey,
coming to being in the southeastern United States, man. Hurricanes here on the southeast coast,
yeah.
it happens, bro.
Was Hurricane Helene the one in 2023?
No, it was last year. It was the one that
Oh,
completely wrecked the North Carolina area last year.
oh, you know what? I think that was the week of the LSU game, but we got like just a bit of rain before the game. Then it was sunny the rest of the game. Because I remember going to that game, I was like, I brought a sweatshirt and I think I wore pants. I don't know actually, but I know I was prepared for rain that game. It was so hot. I was sunburnt after the game, and I felt terrible after the game because we lost. And I even
Yeah.
had a Gamecock sticker on my face. I took that off, and with the sun, you could see the mark on my cheek. Like it was funny. I'm not gonna share it here because I'm not gonna show my
I
face, but
remember that. I
you can
remember you
imagine it.
showed me that.
You can yeah. I sent you that of course, but just think of taking off a logo sticker and you can see the mark of a Gamecock logo on your face. That's what I had the entire week, and I had my stepdad laughing at me the entire week because we lost and because of that
Oh
exact moment.
man.
So yep, yep.
Oh man. I imagine myself like that sometimes.
Look, it is funny. That is fun. It is funny. And I'll admit, it was pretty funny when I first took it off. I even immediately sent it to my mom. I sent that the second I took it off. I took a picture of myself and sent it to my mom. I was not happy.
I wouldn't be either if I were you, man, honestly.
Ugh.
But yeah, Helene was that major hurricane last year that wiped power out for most of the entire southeast. Well, I should say more so for the Carolinas. Like you remember being, the like almost everywhere in South Carolina, and North Carolina was without power for darn near a week.
Gosh, man, yeah, it was
That
awful. It
yeah,
was
that
awful
was
times.
yeah, and that completely devastated and flooded out
Awful.
North Carolina mountains. I think the worst of it hit near Asheville, which that was a really bad hurricane, man. And I
Yeah.
really really pray we don't see anything like that again. But yeah, hurricane. I was lucky, man. I was without power for I think only 10 or 11 hours. There were people who were without power for as long as 2 weeks, probably even a
Yeah.
month. I mean, that was a really
Yeah.
bad. That was awful. But
Historically, as for me, as of right now, I haven't really had that much of terrible history with hurricanes, with losing power and so on and so much. Because like really when it comes to like I lived here all my life, it's really just lots of rain leftovers. Nothing really like storm, but just wind and rain. But the wind does mess with the power a bit. Our lights flicker, and the longest I've had power out was probably like like almost the entire day, but not like weeks. Because if I lost power for weeks, I don't even know how I can live. Like I
yeah,
don't
it's
even know how I
definitely
can live
tough.
like that. It sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's. I listen when I I've told y'all I was in Houston when Hurricane Harvey hit. That's one of the most infamous hurricanes in the U.S.
Oh,
And dude, we were up on a hill, so we were fine, no flooding. But right down the road, it's a freaking lake. My friend had the YouTube video on him showing flooded grocery stores. He was on a boat. He was on
oh
a
my
boat, and the
God.
entire town was underwater. Everything. The HEB, which is a Texas store, for those of you who live in Texas and know what that is, it's pretty much like Lowe's grocery store, but Texas. But um, completely underwater. Our school, my high school, flooded
God.
like 2 stories, really bad. They literally marked it. Like when you got upstairs to the second floor, you could see the marking on the wall. They literally marked where it went. Imagine the entire first floor of a school covered in water, like it's some underground tunnel or something.
That just it scares me just to think about that because we do get a lot of flash floods here in South
Yeah, and
Carolina, and you just got a warning. I don't think it's really that dangerous as of right now.
well,
Plus,
any flood warning definitely deserves some attention, but
yeah,
it's mainly for people who live in like
hmm
flood prone areas. Just don't drive.
exactly.
Don't drive if the woods are if the excuse me the roads are flooded.
Yeah,
Just simple common sense.
yeah, and really, yeah, it's that, and we're also talking about hurricanes here. See, what you got right now is just a small storm, and we're comparing that to hurricanes now. Yeah,
Yeah.
hurricane. Oh, yeah, but yeah, my point was, I just got a feeling. I just got a feeling that one of our games are going to get affected due to a
Well,
hurricane. Maybe, just maybe. I really hope not, though. It's just some weird feeling.
I mean, August and September is hurricane month. Like that's when all of them come. But yeah, Calvary Baptist Church, also known as Keeneland,
Hmm.
also known as
Yep.
Sports Weather Alert. Do y'all remember Hurricane Matthew, dude? Yes, I do. I tease my brother about that all the time because that's his name. I literally tease him about that all the time. I say, dude, I show him a picture of Hurricane Matthew every now and then and say, you still proud of what you did? And he says, yep, and I'll do it again if I have to. Just some funny response
That's
like
kind of
that.
funny. That's actually kind of funny. Yep, I'll do it again.
I'll do it again. That's pretty much what he said. But
Oh
dude,
man.
so Beaufort, South Carolina, which is um a very family historic place for me, it flooded pretty bad. Hunting Island, a lot of the beaches flooded. Marinas were flooded. Ships were turned upside down near Beaufort. I mean, Hurricane Matthew was bad, and it looked like a literal demon on radar. There's a radar somewhere. I can't tell what kind of radar type it is, but there's a radar showing Hurricane Matthew looks like a skull with red eyes, like a
Oh
literal demon. I'll have to send you that photo, Gavin, because
yeah, you're gonna
that
need to
is
show me that.
harrowing.
That sounds pretty scary. I
Yeah,
yeah
it is,
yeah. Oh, I can't
dude.
imagine. Yeah, that'd be scary. Nightmare.
Dude, speaking of that hokey, Gavin, do you remember when we were in Folly Beach a month ago, or
Correct. Yep.
yeah, nearly 2 months ago actually, and we saw
Time
the
flies.
Hugo markings? They had Hugo markings. I got a picture of that too on
Oh
some of the
really?
buildings we passed. Yeah, I
Huh.
thought I pointed it out to you. Maybe
I don't think no, I do not remember that. I don't remember that. Like
I'll have to
was
show you
this
then.
yeah, you'll have to show me that then because I actually
Yeah,
don't remember that as much.
yeah, because Hugo is the hurricane my parents tell me about all the time
Oh,
because
yeah,
they
no.
were here for it.
My
They
parents
lived in the
also tell
Charleston
me
area when that happened. So
yeah, my parents also have told me about Hurricane Hugo and how bad that was. Like I just think about my hometown and that just completely destroyed. And
yeah,
that looks horrible. Like just picturing it sounds horrible and they tell me that's how bad it was. Like I can't imagine how terrible that was.
yep. Oh wow, look what Andrew did. There was a Category 5 hurricane that hit Florida in the 1990s called Hurricane Andrew.
Andrew,
Bro,
what
are you
did
proud of
Florida do to
yourself,
you?
Andrew?
What did Florida
What,
do to you?
bro? What is wrong with you? Why would you
That
literally
is
pack full of
cruel.
Florida, dude?
Cruel,
Bro,
Andrew. That is
bro,
harsh of you on Florida, man. What did Florida do to
unbelievable.
you?
Wow, man.
Gosh.
Wow. Unreal, Andrew.
God.
Unreal. Un- Unreal. I gotta look and see if there was ever a Hurricane Gavin.
Uh, man, if there was a hurricane, Gavin, my parents would bug me just the entire time. Like, Gavin, stop this now. Like, I can already see it. I can already see it. I've been feeling that's gonna come at some point. Has there ever been a hurricane, Gavin?
There might have been. I'd have
I
to
can't.
look at it. Hold on. Let's look.
Go
Let's
ahead
look.
and
Hold on.
check that. Go ahead and do a little research and
I
see if there's
love
ever
how this has just
been
turned into talking
a
about hurricanes now.
hurricane, Gavin. Man, all I said was I have a bad feeling a hurricane's gonna affect a Carolina game, and here we are.
Yep, literally, I've just been turned into a hurricane talk now.
This is now Hurricane FT.
Yep, hurricane talk with FT and Gavin, guys. But yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, unfortunately,
Whoa.
because again,
Hey,
what happened?
Sentient said no Hurricane Gavin, but there was a Cyclone Gavin that hit Fiji.
Bro, Gavin, are you serious, man? I'm calling Boris, bro.
No! Anyone before us? No. Look, Fiji. I had beef with Fiji. Man, what year was
Honestly,
that?
I kind of get
Hey,
it. Not gonna lie.
Sentient. Go ahead and tell me what year that was. Go ahead and tell me what year that was when you get the chance. But yeah, I had beef with Fiji around the time.
There was a Hurricane Gavin, but near Algeria.
Oh, really? Wait, really?
Yeah.
1997. Yeah,
Yep.
97. I think that's right.
Bro,
Algeria.
Gavin, come on, bro.
Look, that was not the United States now. I think the cyclone seems more realistic because,
All right, bro.
you
I
know,
won't call Boris on you, but be
whew,
more careful.
I'll try to be careful. Look, it's been however many years, not since 1997, since I've had any beef with certain places, but if it's necessary, I can't make any promises that I will not destroy land. How about this? Hurricane Van Drevius. How about that?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yes.
Coming to uh coming to a city near you.
Yep. Columbia, South Carolina. There's a Hurricane Van Drevius and a yeah, how about no, we should call it Sandstorm Van Drevius. That's probably more fitting because the Gamecocks and Sandstorm Van Drevius.
I hit Florida in the muff before SC entered the SEC in football. I was just giving
Wow.
the SEC a taste of what South
Just
Carolina was about to give it.
just in time.
That's clever. I'm not gonna lie. That is clever. But honestly, I want to say, yeah, I'm gonna stick with the worst case. Honestly, being 6-6 because I just personally don't see this team not making a bowl game this year. I don't. I'm sorry.
I
I just
yeah.
don't think. Maybe it is possible because I mean, it's just I just don't see it, bro. I really don't see it. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
let's go ahead. This is my opinion. This is the only way the Gamecocks don't make a bowl game. Lose to Virginia Tech, beat South Carolina State, lose to
Well,
Vanderbilt,
we're already not beating
lose.
South Carolina State, so
I know, lose to Missouri. You can swap Kentucky and Vanderbilt, so I'll give you a win against Kentucky. Lose to LSU, lose to Oklahoma, lose to Bama, lose to Ole Miss, lose to Texas A&M. Because look, this is as if we are very, very, very bad, and then we could probably be Coastal. But look, if the Gamecocks are that bad, they're gonna get probably at least one. Like I feel like 5-7 would be the case if we don't make a bowl game. But
yeah,
I'd rather not talk about that at all because we're gonna make a bowl game. I can probably
right,
guarantee that.
right, exactly. Yeah, we are making a bowl game this year for sure. But
Yeah, I think fortunately we have exit the stage of Carolina football where we are fighting for a bowl game. Those are the Moose Stump years. I think those are far behind us, and thank goodness we have a coach in Shane Beamer who is more than
uh-oh.
willing for the Gamecocks to make it to the college football playoff this year.
There was a typhoon named after FT that hit Japan in 1995, bro.
SECFT. Do I need to call Boris on you?
Uh, Boris
What did
actually helped me with that one, believe it or not.
what? How about wait? Okay, okay.
Okay, so here's
You know
here's
what's
what
next.
happened. Here's
You
the
know what's
story. Hold
next.
on. hold on. Here's the story. They didn't give me my sushi, bro. I asked them for my sushi. They didn't give it to me. They
Oh.
listen to what those greedy bastards did. They called me and said my sushi will be ready in 8 minutes. I go all the way over there, and then they say, "No, no, it's not ready yet. Go back to the U.S." I'm like, "What?"
Oh.
Then they bring me all the way back and say, "Sorry, we ate it for you."
Yeah, we ate it
I
for you.
wanted that sushi,
Hey, I
bro.
have an idea. Whoever those are listening in the comments, look up Hurricane Boris. Sorry for the voice crack. Hurricane Boris and see if that's a thing.
Hurricane
I feel like
Boris.
that'd be funny. Or Hurricane Caillou.
Yeah, Hurricane Caillou.
Oh man. Is there simply anyone else named Caillou in the real world though, man?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
people like to name their kids after bald brats, but who
Yeah.
knows? Can you believe how much time has passed since 2018 when we started live streaming and making videos? I
I
can't. It's
cannot believe
been,
it.
bro. It's actually, bro. So it's been 7 years. Holy shit,
We're three
bro.
years away. That'll mark a decade since. Think about that.
Yep,
We're closer to 2030 than 2019 and 2018.
yep. We're closer
My
to 20,
gosh.
bro. We're closer to 2050 than we are to 20. Uh, we're closer to 2050 than we are to 2000.
My God,
Ah,
dude.
pain, pain, pain,
Man,
pain.
it's just sad to see. Well, it's not. Look, time flies, and that's something we have to adapt to as we grow up.
Yeah,
But it's still
but it's
sad because
unfortunate. Yeah,
those years have big memories of childhood and stuff.
yeah, because it feels like that's the only year when you're truly alive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Because once you grow up, it's not about having fun anymore. It's not about imagining things or playing outside anymore. It's about what you're gonna do for a living, how much money are you gonna give the government, and how much bills, how much are these bills, and all that stuff. That's
yeah,
pretty
I
much what
know.
it's about
You should
nowadays.
you should look at Andrew's last two comments, the typhoon one and the Caillou gets grounded one. Yeah,
All
like
right,
those
let me
two
see.
kind of stand. You need to look at those. He put a
The
fact
typhoon named after FT killed 5 people and got $3,077,000,000
and
in
damage.
damage. That's actually pretty sad. I'm not gonna make a joke.
That is yeah that is really sad.
That is actually very sad.
Yeah, I hate to see that. And then there's literally a Caillou gets grounded video, apparently, on YouTube where he creates a hurricane.
Well, that is Caillou for you, bro.
That
That's
that
Caillou for you, man.
all spoiled little brat.
But the thing is, again, like you said, like, bro, when you're young, it's about having fun. It's about using your imagination, pretending to be pirates in your backyard, pretending to be a superhero or whatever in your backyard with your cousins or your neighbors or whoever you play with. It's about all kinds of that. Maybe shooting a basketball, throwing football, riding bikes around. And then when you grow up, it's about, you know, getting a job, trying to survive. And that's very hard for a lot of people to adapt.
Yeah, just it's hard to believe time's moving this fast now. Like we're all growing up and
Before
getting
we
really
know
older.
it, we'll all be 50.
Gosh, man.
hmm
Really,
But
yeah, like it's gonna be weird to see how the world's gonna be around then, because like think about people,
well,
old
first we
people
got to make it to
today.
50. That's the hard part.
Here's a funny prediction I got here. So video games right now are at an all-time high. Like, there are lots of good video games out there. Back then, like, the old people, I don't know any old people that are really tech savvy with video games. I think old people are gonna know more with video games. Like, old people like us are still gonna be good at video games, even if we're like 70. I think we'll still at least get
Right.
video games. Like it's funny because if you think about it now, think about an old person being really good at a video game. Like let's say 60 years old. Just
My grandpa's actually pretty darn good at a few video games.
really like Call of Duty. Like if he's a veteran and he plays Call of Duty, that would kind of make sense.
Yeah, I introduced him not to Call of Duty, but to GTA 5.
Huh,
Okay, I got to admit something. I admit this with much humility. I skipped most of my missions because I just couldn't do it.
that's fine.
He
That
didn't
is fine.
skip. He didn't skip a single mission.
Oh my god.
Not one. bro, that made me feel embarrassed. Not gonna lie to you, because he had never played that game before, knew nothing about it. But all of a sudden, bro, he's able to do all these cool things. He's able to pass all these missions, and it's
Did
like,
it did
what?
it did it
He didn't
involve
even
killing
skip
someone?
once, huh?
Did he kill people?
Yeah, of course, dude. It's
That's pretty
GTA
telling.
5.
That's pretty telling. He's a murderer. He's a murderer.
Dude, I listen. The stuff I do on GTA 5 is illegal in
Oh,
every single country. That's all I'm
look,
gonna say.
everyone does illegal stuff in GTA. Well,
Well, of
in the
course, that's the
game,
only way you
in the
can do it.
game. I know, I know.
Yeah, in
Only
the
thing,
game.
only illegal things we can do in GTA that we can't do in the real world. So if you need to
Right,
let out
right.
anger, play GTA and beat up a woman because you can do it in that game.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not saying like I have any
Beat up
history
anyone, honestly.
wanting to punch women in real life. No, I have no intentions of that. Not
No, we
just
know what you meant. We know what
yeah,
you meant.
yeah, letting out anger, like getting out a baseball bat and hitting someone. You can do that in
Yeah.
a video game. Like that like
Well,
it
I like
works.
to
It
use
works.
machetes, but those are pretty cool too.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you know that little bottle you throw that lights someone on fire in GTA
Yes.
5. I also do that quite a bit too and
Yeah.
laugh from it.
Those are kind of satisfying in the video game. It's kind of satisfying to watch it just boom. No, not to kill someone, but like if you throw it down and just see the fire spread, it's kind of. I think that those are the one of like most fascinating items in the game. But I know we've gotten a little more off topic now. But
It's all good. I mean, look, the best case worst case scenario, honestly, is a very easy subject. Like that's like 10 minutes, so we're
yeah,
just pretty
absolutely.
much just hanging out and talking now. But I am gonna
Yeah,
have to end the stream in a few minutes, unfortunately, because I gotta.
yeah.
I can't like stream for 2 3 hours like I used to because I gotta complete a project so I can get my money for the
Yes, sir.
month.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. Uh, is there anything else? How about this?
We
I
we
think we
could
we
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 could
got
talk
we forgot
about
to talk about this. Our most hated fan bases. The
Oh
fan
yeah, we
bases that we were going to
gosh.
talk about that, and then we just got completely lost.
I was just about to say that. We got so dragged talking about hurricanes, childhood and stuff like that. Yeah, the most like what are we doing like a top 5 list?
Top five, or you could just list what the fan
Yeah,
bases you hate. It doesn't
yeah.
really have to be a
Yeah, I'll
list.
go ahead and list them if you'll allow me. Like
Go
the
ahead.
ones off the top of my head. Okay.
Go-
Here's a take I got right now. I know some good Tennessee fans in the Discord, some good Tennessee fans in real life, but overall the fan base, I think they're worse than as a Gamecock fan, I think Tennessee fans are worse than Clemson fans. They
That's
are
actually a very
just
common opinion
all
too.
around the place. And look, this doesn't really make me mad. It's just kind of funny and really sad. The Tennessee fans that accuse us of cheating in 2023 when we beat them 63 to 38, they're like, "You can't do that. They cheated. They threw sand on the field." Like that's just
uh,
sad. That's just really sad. Look,
that's just
but
an excuse.
yeah, exactly. Excuse it. And the wristbands on the defense. I mean, come on. Other teams do that. I like not even on offense. Yeah, just
But
go ahead and
let's not forget they were also seen with some wristbands as well at certain areas in that season. But yeah, who wants
exact.
to
Yeah,
mention that part? You know.
yeah. But yeah, Tennessee fans are up there. Probably at number one. They're really really annoying. At number two, I'll go ahead and say it. Clemson. They'll just. I mean, I think that's self-explanatory. They'll just bring
Yep.
up the record 73-44. That's all they say.
That's their
Nat-
that's their security
national
blanket when
championships. But
losing.
when it comes to talking about other sports, I think the Gamecocks, well, maybe not. No, last year we had them in the what's it called, the Palmetto series.
The Palmetto series.
Yeah, we've got. I think Clemson got theirs the year before last year, but every single
Yeah,
other one we've got.
2023.
So if they want to talk about other sports, look at us. We got baseball natties. We got Final Four appearances. Women's basketball natties. They don't
Yeah,
want. I
we've
mean, yeah, they got none of those.
yeah, that's the thing. Overall, we're called the University of South Carolina for a reason. Sorry that makes you mad, but it is true. You have football. South Carolina has more success in every other sport. Sorry,
Exactly.
sorry.
But let's be real for a second. Football is definitely the most popular sport, and that makes sense to me because football is the one that most people will watch and most people do care about, and that's
Right.
why we need to make a statement this season and beat Clemson at home for the first time since 2023, 13, 2013. I really hate that I'm saying that. 2013 was the last time the Connor Shaw, Jadeveon Clowney days. That was their very last game in Columbia, South Carolina, and that was beating Clemson.
Hmm.
Hopefully, we can do that again this year. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so
Definitely
I
got a
got
shot. Definitely got a shot.
yeah. So Tennessee, Clemson, and I think I'll go ahead and put Georgia up there too, especially around when we
Hmm.
played them more. But ever since we've took them off the schedule, I haven't heard much from them because it was a rivalry. It's a rivalry. Someday we'll play them again. It's gonna suck. There's some people like Uncle Lou, and we've even had some friends that are Georgia fans that are like, I just feel like the people that I know personally are really friendly fans, even if they're like, Georgia fans, Tennessee fans, Clemson fans. Like, look, my stepdad's a Clemson fan. Sometimes he'll rub it in my face. Sometimes he'll be extremely friendly about it. And he even takes me to Gamecock games before I could drive myself and all. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. But so yeah, I got Tennessee, Clemson, and Georgia in the top three. So you can go ahead and list some of yours now.
This is true right here. Yeah, Tennessee fans did chant profanities at Spencer Rattler in 2023, and like, yeah, I remember the comments for that game too were
I do not
very bad.
remember
Not
that.
only that, but now I feel like a lot of Tennessee fans back then weren't really angry, but there were some Tennessee fans that were mocking Lattimore when he was injured, mocking Lattimore's injury. There
Yep.
were Tennessee fans that mocked when Uncle Lewis talked about this, and he's actually right. If you go back and watch the game, you can hear it very clearly. When Nick Chubb got injured, I think what was it, 2015 or 16 against Tennessee, that really bad
Yep.
injury. Tennessee fans were chanting "na na na na, hey hey hey, goodbye."
Oh,
That
yeah.
was not only
That
that, but they also boo and cheer when Matt Corral gets injured. That whole fiasco in 2021 with the throwing the bottles and everything and the golf balls. Listen, Lane Kiffin's a butthole. He kind of deserved
I,
it. But you threw it at your own cheerleaders and
yeah.
bands.
That
Like
that was
that's
so bad. I remember that was so bad. You had to make a complete video out of it, and that was necessary. That was really
yeah.
necessary. I do
Yeah, and
remember that.
everybody wanted to bring up, well, South Carolina did it in 2017 against Clemson. Yeah, and we condemned it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a simple fix, and we don't see much of that
And it
anymore.
was nowhere
So
near as bad as y'all did it either. Right? We weren't throwing we were throwing bottles, golf balls and mustard bottles at the cheerleaders and at the band and everything. Like,
cannot compare. No one else can
yeah,
compare.
not
Very
only that, but they
unique.
also love to make death threats towards players like, Brock Bowers and everything.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
Tennessee online is just a cancer, dude. It
Listen,
really
listen.
is.
Like, if this is all of what's happening, why didn't we like cheer that Hendon Hooker was hurt at Williams Bryce? Why
Because
didn't
we're classy.
What exactly? See, we're classy. We could have clowned Hendon Hooker. As a matter of fact, he walked off right next to the student section. Someone could have chucked a water bottle right at him. Someone could have done that. Not a single person did that, and no one talks about that because if any other fan base that speaks out, Tennessee, they probably would have booed him. They probably would have threw something at him. Hendon Hooker was coming off of a torn ACL, and no one did a single thing to let him walk off. There were no boos. There was nothing when Hendon Hooker
Yeah.
went down at Williams Bryce.
Yeah. But I will say, Carolina fans have definitely said and done some bad things. But I will say, like, overall, what I see from the Tennessee fan base is a lot worse than what I see from any other fan base. And listen, Georgia fans, again, have been very bad. Very,
Oh,
very, very bad.
and very
I
annoying
still
too.
think they're the worst fan base in all of college football.
Oh, Georgia. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
bro,
I don't
you
blame you.
have
I
to
don't blame you.
have dimwit status class to just bark at someone randomly. Just get down and act like a dog and bark at someone. Like,
That's just embarrassing. That's
that's
so
just.
embarrassing.
Yeah, and of course, not to mention a lot of, Georgian themselves. I'm surprised their whole roster ain't in jail at this point. But
Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
Jail you.
Tennessee.
That's jail you.
Yep, jailbird you. Yep, DUI dogs. But
Yep.
anyways,
I
um,
I am confident that the Gamecocks can flip PJ Dean. By the way. I'm very confident they can
Hopefully.
do that. I think that'd be one of the players that we can flip. Not only him, but also Smoke Matthews for the Gamecock fans here that are familiar with our recruiting. That we've lost some big time recruits to Tennessee or no, yeah,
I
Texas,
thought that was
Georgia.
Texas. I thought that was
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah, Texas is Smoke Matthews. That's right. Yeah, it was him, and I'm confident we can get PJ Dean. We'll see. I think we're gonna get a flip miss this year. I think we're gonna get flips coming to South Carolina. Like PJ Dean, I say because Georgia is stacked, and just the state of the college football world, a lot of players are transferring, a lot of players are flipping. I think the Gamecocks are going to do everything that it takes to get these players to flip, and they're not. I think they're going to get at least one back. Like I think one of them could be Smoke Matthews or PJ Dean. I think those are the names to watch for the Gamecocks
Yeah,
to flip someone.
yeah, absolutely. I hope so because any flip we get will help greatly for the future. But Tennessee, Georgia, Clemson fans. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
I mean you all see that coming. Y'all know
yeah.
about that one.
I'll ask you a question. What are your thoughts? I mean, this isn't really annoying to me. I mean, they have the right to do this, but like, do you have anything on Illinois fans of them like talking trash about us since that game?
Well, they keep. It's like it's to me. It's like the LSU fans that were mad about Carolina fans complaining about the referee and that call. They just don't want to admit that their coach or whatever happened to help them win was something bad. They don't want to admit it because they want to act
Yeah.
like it. But the truth is, Shane Beamer snapping and getting mad at Brett Bielema was justified. When your coach is taunting another head coach,
Yep.
being completely classless and everything, that's just what's going to happen. And to be
Yeah.
fair, South Carolina fans were treating the Illinois game as if it was a guaranteed W, and the Illinois fans were very annoyed with like that.
Yeah, and
And
I
I
think
see
yeah.
Virginia Tech fans are feeling the same way right now because Carolina is a lot of Carolina fans aren't giving Virginia Tech much of a chance in that game. I'm here to tell everybody if Carolina sleeps, Virginia Tech's going to beat them. I'm telling you that right now. If the Gamecocks are sleeping, you're losing to Virginia Tech. I'm telling you that right now.
Yep. And here's
So
yeah,
mark it
yeah.
down. Mark it down. The Gamecocks better show up week one because if they don't, you are that's going to be a repeat of the Illinois game.
Yep. Also, Hokie, I see what you're trying to do. I see you're trying to jinx.
Yeah,
Absolutely
he's
not.
trying to
We
jinx it
we
though.
have no shot at winning. We
Yeah, we
are
have no shot.
terrible at starting the season. You saw it last
Yeah,
season,
bro.
but realistically speaking, I'm not saying I wasn't realistic speaking because we are going to lose that game. But if the Gamecocks
Yeah.
sleep, it, you I don't know if you're going to win. I don't think you're going to win that game. Like
Okay, this is.
Virginia Tech. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but not to cut you off, but this is a good point. Beamer did have every right to get upset, but there is one thing that I really wish he would do better, and that's control his emotions better. Because he said some things. He's looked like kind of a clown at times. I hate to say it, he has, but he's a great guy. He's a great coach. I think he's going to do good things at Carolina. But there are times when Beamer has been way too emotional and has said some over the top
Yep.
things, and I really think he needs to control his emotions better. And I feel like he did a good job of that overall last year because in 2023 it was just going at the media, going at the fans left and right because everyone was upset. Like, sorry, bro, sorry, we're upset because the team is 2-6. Like, and then celebrating like you won the Super Bowl against Jacksonville State. That doesn't mean people live miserable existences. That just means they don't want to be in a position like that. But yeah, I feel like that is one thing Beamer needs to, and to be fair, I think he's done a good job of getting his emotions under
Yeah.
control. But here's another harsh reality. College football is kind of a dirty game. Like coaches are going to taunt, players are going to taunt, and when that happens, it's good to not let the emotions get the best of you. Just ignore and move on. I know that's easier said than done, especially in the heat of the moment. But doing stuff like that pretty much is going to get you national mockery. That's all I'm going to say. And
Yeah.
Illinois
Unfortunately.
fans can mock Carolina all they want, but deep down, you know it, and I know it. If South Carolina had their best players in that game, Carolina would have beat Illinois. Had they
Yeah.
had Rocket Sanders, we would have won that game.
Yep. I was
So
just about to mention
congrats
that.
on your cheap little victory against the
Yeah.
Gamecocks.
We yeah,
What else?
we
That's your first 10-win season and since 2001. Carolina's had like what, three since 2001. You've only had one. That's embarrassing.
yeah. And
But
Illinois can
yeah,
say that, yeah. Illinois can say the same thing. We were also shorthanded. We were also missing some players too. Yes, but let's like look,
yeah.
a
What,
a,
one
a full
receiver?
a
One
full yeah,
receiver?
yeah, they were missing like a receiver and some other guys, but like listen, we were missing look, say this wasn't a bowl game. Say this was a regular season game. Like the loaded teams, like no injuries, no nothing, I think we'd be the team to win. I'm not saying that because we lost, but I truly think South Carolina's a better team if we have both Kennard and Stewart, Nicky Manwari through the entire game, a running back that isn't coming off of a walking boot a week before the game, and Oscar Attaway is who that was. And yeah, I just think we probably would have been the better team in that game had there been like no opt outs at all. But that's how bowl games are, and we lost that game. And unfortunately, the college football world doesn't see Beamer like we do because of what happened now. Because now they're making fun of Beamer, and that's fine. Because y'all be laughing once he makes the playoffs. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, the reason why they laugh at Beamer is because some of the things he said and the ways he's acted at certain times.
Yeah,
And again, I mean, that's just naturally going to breed mocking stuff. Like
yeah,
that's just going to happen. But I will tell you this real quick: Shane Beamer is a great coach. He's a great guy. You don't have to agree with some of the things he's said or some of the things that he's done, but I will tell you this: that guy earned a permanent special spot in my heart because he didn't. Whenever I was calling his name at the Gamecock Walk in
yep.
all three
I'll,
games that I went last year, he acknowledged me. He pointed at me in the Old Dominion game. I yelled to him, "Beamer's the best coach in the world," and I did that, he smiled and waved at me, and I said, "Beamer's the best coach in the world." And he looks back and says, "Let's go!" Puts his
yep.
spurs up in the air, and then in the Wofford game, I tell him, "Hey, I love you, coach," and he said, "I love you."
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, he didn't have to do any of that. He loves his fan base. He loves interacting with the fans. He deeply cares for the university and the players. And he
I
is the
know.
coach that
Yeah,
South Carolina needs right now. Dabo Sweeney has said and done some very whack stuff for Clemson. Does that erase what a good guy he is and the good he's done at Clemson? Of course not. Of course not. And yeah, I'll say it. Uh, Now you won't hear this from a lot of Gamecock fans, but I'll say it. I like Dabo. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good
yeah,
Christian, and I think that he's built a really good thing over there at Clemson. I
yeah,
hate what's on his shirt. I hate DePaul, but I don't hate Dabo. That's what I'll say.
yeah.
I
Dabo as
will
a
say that a
person,
million
yeah.
times.
Dabo as a person, absolutely a great human being, absolutely.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
but Shane Beamer though, like he acknowledges the fans. He greeted. I was there with you. He greeted us. He was like, "What's up,
Yeah,
fellas?" He said, "What's up,
yeah.
fellas?" And then
What's up,
I
fellas? Gave
I
us all
I,
fist
I
bumps.
remember. Yeah, exactly. He gave us fist bumps. Yeah, like it was awesome because like when he's walking across Gamecock Park, he can't take his time to give fist bumps to anyone else. He can give a high five, but fist bumps—that's some special treatment for the two of us. You think?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
for
yeah,
Andrew too. Don't forget Andrew was there.
and Andrew, of
Yeah, yeah.
course, Andrew. Yep, and it's gonna happen again next season. And you're gonna
Yeah,
bring a
I
sign,
got a
right?
sign. I got a
Yeah.
sign prepared.
Oh yeah, you need to show me that sign. That sign is gonna
I got to
stand
buy it
out.
first. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make or buy a sign first. Though.
So okay, do you have a local like Target or Walmart? Because
I do. Yes, I
what I did
do.
for college game day was I went to like the project session, like school project sections, and there was this like large whiteboard that was like paper. I went and grabbed that, and then I bought some markers too. So I went to Target. If you got a Target, I'd say that's the place to go because they definitely have that. I would say Target would be the place to go. But you
Oh
can
yeah.
also, you can do however you want. But for when I went to college game day, I brought my sign and I got that from Target. So
What was your sign?
my sign was, let me remember, it was get ready to learn sandstorm, bud. And so what it was, bud was in LSU colors and it had like a poopy stink smell like thing. I made like a brown colors go above it. And like, I made it like, it'd be better to describe if like, I could show you guys the picture, but the sign said get ready to learn sandstorm, bud. But what I originally wanted
Nice.
it to do was unfortunately my printer was out of ink at the time. But you guys remember Brian Kelly's slamming the table after the week 1 loss. I was gonna put that picture on the sign, but unfortunately my printer was out of ink, and it was like 2 a.m. at the time. I couldn't sleep before the game. I was
That would
making
have
that
been so
sign,
golden,
and
bro.
I would have.
God,
I know. So I know it
bro,
would have been
missed
awesome.
opportunity.
I know, but this
Maybe
no. If game day comes back to Columbia, I'm making sure I have printer ink because whoever, like, whoever we're playing, I think it could be Alabama. I'll make sure I print something.
we got to find a
So
way to go to that game together, Gavin. We got to.
absolutely, yeah, that
Because
would
I'm
be a.
telling you right now, I think Carolina wins that game. I'm
Yep,
telling you right now.
yep. We'll
I
see.
got
Yep,
that
we
feeling
will
in my
see.
gut, and
Me
that
too.
means automatic victory. So,
Automatic. Oh, of course. I can't wait.
but but it was a great show. I do have to go, unfortunately, now, but I really appreciate you joining in, Gavin. I hope everyone had a good time tonight. I know the best case, worst case was kind of quick, but to be honest, that's a very quick topic. But hopefully, we had
Yeah.
some fun just talking and everything.
Yeah, it was fun. I was absolutely blessed to be on here with you, and thank you for having me. Also, yep, I'm Van Drevius. You can call me Kevin, but hey, I'm
Yep,
Van
exactly.
Drevius. On the show,
The
I
goat.
am Van Drevius. I'm the GOAT, and I
Look,
will show up this upcoming football season. And thank you all so much for watching.
absolutely. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Go Gamecocks, and yeah, get ready to learn Sandstorm, buddy.
Get ready to learn Sandstorm, buddy. Thank you all for watching.